Congratulations, 2020 graduates of UW Tacoma. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate the graduates of 2020. Welcome to our 2020 grad celebration and new alumni happy hour. We are happy to have you join us. We know that commencement has taken place and we celebrate the class of 2020 and welcome you as new alumni. Share the land acknowledgement. We recognize that all of us at UW Tacoma learn, live, and work on or near the ancestral homeland of the Coast Salish people. In particular, we are situated on the traditional territory of the Puyallup. As people on this occupied territory, we have a responsibility to acknowledge the land, the ancestors who have cared for this land since time immemorial, and all our indigenous connections today. We also have the responsibility to acknowledge the histories of dispossession and forced removal that have allowed for the growth and survival of this institution. In light of this history, let us take active efforts to partner with our indigenous community members and neighbors as we continue our work together as a community of learners, leaders, and educators. And now a statement shared by Chancellor Mark Pagano.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the 2020 grad celebration and new alumni happy hour. Well, first, congratulations to all of our recent 2020 graduates. I do realize though that since it's Tuesday, that's a little bit old news by now, but congratulations anyway. But in all seriousness, let me start by saying that in light of everything that's going on in our country, we wanted to start today's event by acknowledging that the University of Washington is here to support our students, our faculty, our staff, and our alumni and our surrounding community who has been here to support us as well these past 30 years. Let me quote from a recent statement by our president, our university president, Anamari Kalse. The post-pandemic goal should not to be able to go back to the way it was. We must do better. And as we enter into this period, where a new vigilance around hygiene and closeness will become habitual, and where we measure the consequences of our individual actions, not just by their effect on our own health, but by how they affect the health of our family and friends, let us create a new normal where the same attention to issues of equity become habitual as well. In this community, in our community, we can and we will continue our work to address issues of racism, equity, and bias. As the president says, the veil has been lifted. We cannot give up or go back. And as our mayor recently said, Victoria Woodards, just last week, she said, in Tacoma, it stops now. We know that many of you are experiencing sadness, anger, and confusion. Many of us too are experiencing many of these same emotions, and we want you to know that the University of Washington is here to support you. UW Tacoma Counseling and Psychological Services and the Center for Equity and Inclusion are both open and are here to support you. We stand in solidarity against racism, injustice, and discrimination. Now I think it's appropriate if we pause and have a moment of silence for George Floyd, for his grieving family, and all of those who are impacted by or lost to this unjust violence. Let me turn to Shauna Lawson, our new Assistant Director for Alumni Relations and Annual Giving at the University of Washington, Tacoma, and she will lead us all in a time of silence, respect, and reflection.
George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, we say their names to honor their lives and make them matter. We will pause and have a moment of silence for George Floyd, his grieving family, and all of those impacted by or lost to this unjust violence. Let's take a moment. Thank you. Again, thank you for joining us today. It is now our pleasure to bring Chef Reginald Howell to show us how to prepare or make an appetizer, a husky cocktail or mocktail drink. He's a native of Tacoma, Washington. Chef Howell is now the head chef at Bongo's Caribbean Cafe in Seattle, who offers a Caribbean or Cuban flair with the beachfront setting just across from Green Lake. Chef Hal has competed in several cooking competitions, including the most recent victory in a competition known as the Chef's Role Plate Series in Seattle. He was named Industry Chef of the Year for the state of Washington in 2019, working recently at Rama Tacoma and DOA, also known as Dirty Oscar's Annex. He is also a graduate of the class of 2016, and he will show you now how to prepare and make an appetizer and drink. Please hold your drinks for a special toast once this is finished.
Hi, like you said, I'm Chef Reginald Jacob Howe. And so what we're going to do today is a Southern-inspired farmer's toast. We have fresh tomatoes, peaches, corn, and collard greens, which makes it a little Southern. So what we're going to do, you want to get your bread toasted first. So I've got some nice bread, kind of nice little big sizes. And I'm just going to hit it with a little oil and give that a moment to sink in. A little bit of salt and pepper as well. And then you want to make sure you have a hot pan, not too hot you want to burn, but you want that toast to kind of be able to take some of that moisture that's going to get from the tomatoes and the pesto itself. So as we let that sit, we're going to assemble pretty much our toppings. So here I've got some halved cherry tomatoes. I've got some nice diced yellow peaches here. And then I've got some corn. I chose to char mine on the cob, but you can get frozen as well. Just make sure you kind of drain the retaining liquid and let it get a nice little texture. And I hit it with a little olive oil, and you're gonna season the taste. A little salt, a little pepper. Then you're gonna kind of give it a nice toss. You wanna coat everything evenly. The olive oil is really gonna brighten these flavors up here. You have a nice little mixture as such. So beforehand, I did blanch some collard greens, about one bunch. What you're gonna do there is you're gonna blanch any green or any pesto you like to do to brighten the flavor. Get in some salt water, boil it for a quick minute. Then you wanna flash it in some ice water to cool it down and prevent it from keep cooking. And so you'll get these nice little small balls out of those thousands of bunches of leaves you have. You're gonna try to strain all that liquid out. I'm gonna grab the camera. Strain all that liquid out because you don't want that in your pesto. You want your pesto to be solid. And so what I'm doing from here is I'm just gonna take those collard greens and give them a nice little rough chop. And then we're gonna start building our pesto. I've got a nice old school blender here, so it's gonna work really well. I'm gonna take a few cubes of chopped Parmesan. It's gonna be one of the bases of our pesto here. I have some toasted pine nuts, just about a quarter cup there. Little bit of olive oil here. What I like to do with my pesto is I like to get my base started because once you add your greens, it's gonna just thicken up a lot more. So you wanna have a little bit to go with. So I'm gonna give that nice quick little blitz. Try to get that chopped up a little bit. Here and there, you're gonna have to add some oil, loosen it up. You have a nice little creamy base there. So make sure to get that going. Okay, here I'm gonna add the collard greens. You want to puree them. I like to leave my pestos a little chunky for texture. You can kind of, once the blend, technical difficulties here. Give that a quick stir. Oh man. Once the blend. So right here, I've got my pan hot. Gonna hit it with a little oil as well. We'll come back to that pesto there. Get your toast, oil side down. I'm gonna hit it with a little oil, a little more oil. Also, a little more salt and pepper. You kind of want to season all throughout this process. All gonna matter. Just lightly, lightly, lightly. Got a nice little toast. A little more oil to help it along. Let that go low and slow. You don't want it too high. We're gonna try to come back to this pesto here. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Things happen like this in the kitchen. Prepare for this. Gonna dump it out. Try it again. All righty. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes if your pesto is a little thick, a little oil, a little water helps it go a long way. Oh my God. I'm gonna need that blender. Huh? Can you bring me that blender? So my blender is not working right now. Okay. Okay. Blender, you set it up there. So we come over here. Now you want your toast. You want it like nice little flavor there. Once you flip it, you just want to get in the oven for just a spell, kind of let that bread get nice and crunchy. I'm trying to set up another blender here. Since mine is not working. Daryl, that one. The blender. The blender. Just sit up in that corner for me, bro. All right. That's what you have team for. They help you out in dire needs. We're gonna switch blenders here. All righty. Now we try this again. Ta-da! Now we have pesto coming along. Yeah. Kind of want to blitz that, let it get nice. Nice and green. You'll start to see that brightness of those collard greens kind of stand out. Okay. Let that go for a little bit. Awesome. All right. So you have enough salt that you're going to get from that Parmesan if you got some pretty decent Parmesan. So you can watch the salt content on that. Here I've got my pesto. Gonna hit it with a little pepper, just a little salt. We'll give it a nice stir. So you have this consistency like that. Give it a taste. A little salt, little salt. Okay. Good to go there with our pesto. That toast doesn't take long. Should take about 5 minutes at that. You want to make sure get you a nice sized piece of bread. And this can be made ahead of time. You can eat it cold, you can eat it warm. I prefer warm vegetables myself. It's a good, quick appetizer. Okay. So now you want to take that pesto, kind of just set it on that toast there. Nice heaping scoops. All that hard work in our blender took no little difficulties here. Okay. Then I'll just take a little bit of that tomato mixture there and kind of let it fall on the plate as such. Just like that. And then to hit it and finish with, we're gonna do a little bit of Parmesan cheese, a little more salt on top. Nice little flavor there. And then a little honey on the end, which is gonna pretty much bind all that together. You got a little bit of sweetness, a little saltiness. Just kind of hit a little honey on top. Finish it with a little olive oil. And this is your Southern-inspired farmer's toast here. So it's your collard green pesto, cherry tomatoes, peaches, and charred corn. So now the fun part, we're gonna make a cool little Husky-inspired drink. So if you got a cocktail mixer, you got a nice cup, what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of ice, a nice little cocktail mixer here. Some of that fresh mint that you have, if you are following along. So you're gonna get that in there, tear it. Okay, and add our pineapple juice. 1 to 2 ounces here. So the Husky cocktail, pretty much the theme is the purple and gold. That's where the pineapple and the blackberries come in. I'm doing the rum because I work at a Caribbean spot, and that's just kind of what we do. Add my rum there. If you want to do, it's about 1 to 2 shots normally. Since you're graduating, throw another one in there. Celebrating, you did a lot. Congratulations. So what I'm doing, I'm just gonna chill some of that pineapple juice. So give it a shake or a stir. Kind of whatever you're doing, and you want to kind of loosen up some of that mint in there. You get a nice strainer. What do you have available? And then we're gonna pour it into our cup. So here we have our blackberries. We're gonna drop a few, and then in between the ice. And then we're gonna throw a little mint in there, a little color. This is what it looks like so far. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of this simple syrup, just about 1 ounce. I use my measuring spoon just to call it safe. All right. So we got our sugar added, we got our pineapple, we got our blackberries, our mint. I'm gonna add a little bit of club soda to fill it up. That's about 1.5 ounces. Then I've got good stuff here. And so you'll just strain that in there right there. Get a nice stick, stir it. And here you have a 2020 Husky cocktail, you guys. Quick drink, quick meal with the two. I'm gonna hold my drink till you guys cheers and celebrate with you guys. So, but like again, my name is Chef Reginald Jacob Howe. I'm head chef at Bongo's Caribbean Cafe in Seattle. My Instagram handle is 253 degrees. Find me on there. If any questions, email me, shoot me a text. My number's listed on there as well. I'm super open answering questions. If you want to come visit and you come saying hi, let me know you're a Husky alum and I'll hook you up. I got you guys. That's what we do at UW. We look out for one another. And especially during these times, I'm definitely happy to help you guys out. So thank you for your time. Thank you for my hiccups here and enjoying. So I hope you enjoy your meal and your drink.
Thank you, Reggie. That is the way a Husky does it. You got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Go Huskies. Go Huskies.
Now, if you could turn it over for the toast, that would be great.
Yes. Now I give you Chancellor Pagano, and we'll enjoy this drink there. Cheers, you guys.
So go get your glass, and we'll do a toast for this great new class. Are you all ready? To the unforgettable class of 2020, your trials and tribulations have certainly been many, but you each had what it takes to completely persevere. The journey is now over, and the time to celebrate is here. So cheers to the class of 2020, resilient, brave, and undaunted. Congratulations.
Okay, once again, thank you all for joining us and congratulations to the class of 2020. We are so
Yeah. Congrats. Welcome to the club, you guys.
And for the next hour, we will have some specific Zoom groups created. If you don't see a Zoom group for your degree or major, you can join us in the grad experience room. The details for the Zoom groups are available at https://www.tacoma.uw.edu/grad-happy hour or /grad-happy-hour/. This information will also be in the YouTube chat, so feel free to access that. Your links are also on that website for the grad experience and the grad celebration. Thank you. We'll meet you in the rooms.